reading on this. This is my first time doing live from my phone. Um, okay. Yeah, so it's just giving me a bunch of pointers on delays and stuff. I don't expect anybody to join. I'm mainly doing this so I start having videos get uploaded. My plan is once a week doing a live video while I'm cleaning my reptile room. Because every Sunday I clean everybody's enclosures, even if they had a cleaning on Saturday because they use the dish. I do a blank slate on everybody. It's just how I've been doing it. It works for me. But before I get started cleaning, I figured I'd walk around, discuss a few things. That way, if later in the video you see a box leaning on the wall and you're like, wow, what's that? Now you'll know. So let's get started. So over here, this box is all of my LED plant lights that I have in the enclosures. This box is the shipping container box for shipping out reptiles. This bag is a bag full of cooked leaves. Cooked as in like baked in the grill outside, not barbecue. Like barbecued, put it in a little tinfoil pan, cooked a bunch of them. This bag has lasted me 2 years now, so last year I didn't even bother gathering any of my leaves for cleaning. Trampoline for exercise because I was tired of having it out in the living room, so now I just pull it in and out. And then all of these water bottles, I basically go through two 10-gallon or two 5-gallon bottles each week. So in case I don't get to refill one, I go ahead and do four. So this one's empty, this one's almost empty, and then I have two. So it's basically my way of keeping water available because I'm not going to give them water out of the faucet. And then I treat it with ReptiSafe. Then let's see. This is a bucket where I do my cocoa bark stuff, not bark, but cocoa fiber. Little stool that I sit on when I'm in here. Basket where I'll clean, so you'll see this area used a lot. Yeah, and then that's where I'm going to put the phone at. Few fly traps because bioactive enclosures do produce flies. Yes, that one is empty. And then as you can see, I have different supplies on top of enclosures. Yeah, that's one of my viper boas from 3 to 5 years ago. Wild caught, didn't make it, so preserved it. And let's see. Yeah, so paper towels up there. There's only 3 viper boas in that rack, 1 blackhead in that rack, and then all the other racks are empty. And that enclosure is empty. I'm going to be moved. That one's empty, and that one down there is empty. I just moved her up to that one. So that one, I'll be moving him into Ra, who's in that one, and then she'll be moving into that one. But yeah, without further ado, and then this is just like a tracker, all the keys. Yeah. So, yeah, that's about all I have going on. Oh, hi. Yeah, people are actually watching. Alright, but yeah, so I normally start in a clockwise motion, starting with this rack, and then cleaning this rack, and then cleaning the enclosures. And then the final 2 are out in my living room, which is Wade, my Woma Python, and George, my Kalatoa Super Dwarf. So, he just ate yesterday, so he's probably not really feeling like being messed with, but I'll be cleaning him, trying to get him bulked up a little bit, cleaning her. And you can see her water dish is dirty. I was showing them all off before I put the phone stationary, and cleaning her water dish, which is clean still. Like I said, they got to get clean. Say hi. I don't know, is that... I liked and subscribed. Thank you, DJ. And then this is a black-headed python, head xanthic. He's the last one I have available. And right now, his mom is about to have some more legs. And you can see little ear right there, so that's going to be getting cleaned. Over here, I have Kim. She is a Max Pink Argentine boa. The lighting is not great, but when I open it up, I'll be showing her off again when I'll not like showing her off. Maybe I will, I don't know. We'll see. That's still a while. And then this is Latte, my dwarf Burmese python. And down in there is Eggs, my albino T-Paz Argentine boa. It's a little cloudy on there. And here is Neptune, my Xanthic black-headed python. It's hard to tell that he's Xanthic right now because, well, the lighting is kind of more of a orange LED light, and he's got a lot of darker pigment on him, so you barely can see the white until you're looking at the belly. So if you look further down, right about there, you can see that that's him. And this is Java, my other dwarf Burmese python. Down here, she's underneath there. Normally she's actually under her heat spores, but she is gravid right now. So sometime in August, expect babies from her, fingers crossed. This is my Kalatoa dwarf boa. Or sorry, not Kalatoa. Kalatoa dwarf boa, that ain't a thing. Cocker key, or key cocker, however you want to go with it. Dwarf boa. So she's tucked away. And then Melody is in shed. You can barely see the little cloudiness left in her eyes. She's almost done with being in shed. This is my Kalatoa Superdorf female. And then back there is Medusa, my black-headed python, who is in not gravid, I don't know the correct term, but she has eggs in her. So I'm expecting those within the next couple weeks, actually. Late May. So it is May 10th, so around May 22nd, I'm expecting her to lay. So she's back in there. And there, oh man, it's hard to see. There he is. So this one's too small, with it being, this is about an 18-inch tall, or is it 15? I think this is 15-inch tall. Now I'm really curious, is it 18 or 15? I'll have to get a measuring tape, but either way, it's too small for these lights, because when you put those lights in, it gets too hot in there. So I don't have lighting in theirs. I used to have an LED strip, but that strip that came with the enclosure was not good, and just decided not to use anymore. But that's why I'm moving them into down there and up there once I get them cleaned up. Slow process, but yeah, that way I can actually see them, and they're bigger because this is a 4x2 foot. So yeah, let's see if I can. Yeah, just bad reflection. Whoa, almost fell. And then Raw. I'm gonna try opening this enclosure because the light is reflecting way too hard on it. Yeah, Raw, my Hog Island boa. This is my male. And then down here, she's hidden underneath the pork bark here. She's gravid. So, now I don't disturb her too much, but I'm expecting babies from her in August too. A litter from her. But she'll be moving actually over to this one because it's a little bit wider, 2 foot. That's a 3 foot tall enclosure, but I'll be moving him down into there most likely, but we'll see. Oh, those are pretty cool, the black-headed pythons. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're not really showing very well because, yeah, they're not out. He's out, but only because his body's out. He still tucked away. They may come out when I start to open it up and clean the water off out. But without further ado, if there's any questions, I'll wait a few minutes before I set the phone. A few seconds before I set the phone down and start cleaning. So that's all this is really going to be, is a clean, but I figure I'd do a show and tell first. All right, there we go. All right, I'll occasionally look back to see if there's any questions. Oh, all right, I think so. Oh, and if you see me drinking, this is my coffee. I had to go paint a fence this morning, so normally I do this at like around 7:30 to 8. Look at Kim. Can y'all see her without the reflection? Ah, there it is. Yeah, it's really wanting to come out. But yeah, normally I clean around 8 to 7:30 to 8 in the morning. But this morning had to get out there and paint. Well, you put a fence up to put a pool up for our kids to learn how to swim. So I wanted to paint the fence post really. So I put a sunshade up and wanted to do that before it got too hot. So now it's what, almost 11, and I'm like finally getting my first cup of coffee. This is too busy. My wife, she's with the kids right now, but yeah, Mother's Day, and yeah, hopefully going to do stuff, but we're busy. So after I finish with this, she's going to be taking care of getting her dog ready. Screwdriver from opening up the paint, so put that down. She'll be getting our Great Dane ready. She's going to be taking her to get spayed tomorrow, so it's really her Great Dane, but ours as a family. But she'll be taking her, so I'll be watching the kids later for her to go get her clean the kennel and everything, so when she gets back from the spay, she is able to have a clean space that doesn't have to worry about getting an infection. But yeah, busy weekend. And then yesterday we actually celebrated Mother's Day the day early because it's just easier. If you don't know, Mother's Day is the busiest restaurant time of the year. So I used to work at a company that did restaurant like food distribution, and this was like the holiday of holidays. Like you couldn't mess up anything for Mother's Day because it's like their prime money making day. So rather than go out today, which is probably chaotic if y'all have plans today, more power to y'all. Hopefully where y'all choose to go isn't that bad, but we did that yesterday. So yeah. All right. Any other questions? Nope. And I like my coffee hot, but I don't like to drink after noon, so I dropped like 4 ice cubes in it and made it perfectly warm. In case you're wondering why most of the videos and pictures that you see is because Sunday's the day that I have the most time to spend with the snakes. So first I clean them, and then I'm taking pictures, I'm taking videos, whatever, and I'm most of the time still have my gloves on from when doing that. And one of the things I do to make my life easier is when I have the space and they're not all full, I clean one from the previous cleaning to make it ready, so all I have to do is move him up. Lava rock to shed on. Little hide. And this guy is actually on Morph Market right now. I show. So he is het axanthic, like het python. He's 2024. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna put him in here. And now it's easy because all I gotta do is go clean my water dish, and then this I can bring over here. I'm about to disappear because I clean my water in out there. I'm not gonna carry the phone back and forth, but yeah, soon, couple minutes at most, and then basically that'll be the routine. Grab the water dish, go, come back, go, come back. And I don't know if y'all saw that, but I actually take my ReptiSafe, so the water treatment, I take it and put it into a dropper because these little things never ever drip great. You either get too much, too little, or you're sitting there for a minute trying to get it to come out slowly. I got rid of that, and now I just use a glass dropper, and makes it so much easier. So if you've ever struggled with these things like I have, that's a great way of doing it. And then I have my trash bag just down here. So this is my trash. Basically use it, and then when I'm done using it, tie it, twist it back up, and when it gets full, take it out to the trash can. Move my coffee, that way I don't have to worry about spraying it. And this right here is the main reason why I started wearing gloves, is to protect myself from the chemicals. This is F10 that I'm using, and while it's not completely bad, you should wear PPE, alright, personal protective equipment, when using chemicals, even like if you're cleaning with bleach and stuff. So, if you see my kids come in here, just know they have paint on them because they were out there with me, but that's why they're wearing just a solid shirt like I am. That way, if paint got on it, it didn't matter. But I hear my Otis calling me, so he might pop in here in a minute. So I've done this so long that I've gotten pretty used to just self-sizing these to fit them just enough where there's a little bit on each side of it. So, yeah. Now I'm going to move y'all to the other side so y'all can actually see the tubs that I'm working in. Big forehead, big bald head in y'all's view. There you go. Someday I'd like to upgrade to, I don't even know, can y'all hear me clearly when I'm way across the room? If anybody could comment saying, yeah, y'all could hear me, that'd be great. Or if you can't, then I'll know to talk louder. But one day I'd like to upgrade to actually having like a little shop that has a sink, basin, cleaning area inside the area where all the reptiles, that way I don't have to walk back and forth, back and forth. But we're making do for now. And all three of these guys are also available on Morph Market. They're all captive born bred, so they're not cheap though. see, did anybody respond? Yeah. Say hi. Oh. I'm right now playing to see what. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Seeing what options are available on there. I just started. Almost, I guess. Alright. Now move y'all again to watch these guys. Alright. Yeah, that's good. So for my enclosures, the main difference is, like you saw when I was cleaning those water containers out, I dump the water out, but here I actually dump it in the enclosure to help with the humidity, the plant watering and stuff like that. So save on just throwing away water. Though we have a septic system, so the water ends up just pumping in a drip line under our yard, so it doesn't really go to waste there either. Here's my key. So this is Kim, my Max Pink Argentine boa. Let me back up to get her in the light. Better lighting over here. So, once again, my room light is also orange based, so she may be looking a little bit more orange than pink, but check out the just like patternization on her head. So that this one here is it's hard to say one of my favorite snakes because they're literally all on my like top list. That's why I have them. But if I was downsizing these, she would be one of the like last 6 that I would downsize. Yeah. So she's 2020, I believe. 2020. Yeah. So I got her in, I want to say 2022 from Ancient Reproductions. He keeps his for quite a while, which I kind of understand because like I've had mine for a while too, like my babies. One, you want to make sure they're eating, but also eating well, so there's none. They go home and then it's like, oh, it's not eating. Like, well, let's figure this out because it really should be eaten at this point, right? Versus I've gotten some snakes that aren't even 6 months old and they ate a meal, and it's like, oh, well, try feeding them live. I'm like, I shouldn't have to try feeding them live if they're eating frozen thawed, right? So it makes it questionable. But she was a great eater, no problems with her. So highly recommend checking out Ancient Reproductions if you're looking for one. I think he actually still has some 2020s available. I may be wrong on that. You know, don't don't hold me to it, but you can check him out and see what he's got. He's got a website. I think he's also on Work Market. And I finally updated my website 2 weeks ago. So before I was just pointing it to a Square store that I never used. I just set up in case I ever decide to use it on my website, like the where to was it availability tab, and then finally 2 weeks ago I linked it to my Morph Market page. So that's huge for me to actually get it updated because it requires having time away from work and my kids and actual caring for the animals. So that's why I was really excited about doing that because I don't do any personal programming much these days. But yeah, Kim is just a beautiful snake. I'm interested to see what her head pattern and neck pattern look like when she, gains another couple feet and, you know, weighs, I don't know, 10 more pounds. Something where her head is big. This would be a great picture for future reference when she's got a bigger head. So I've seen some of them where their heads are like filling up people's hands, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. But alright, let me move y'all back and I will get back to cleaning. And when I get to the next one, I'll take the next one out. There you go. So like I mentioned earlier, I will be using the water from her previous water to water the plants in her enclosure. Unfortunately, she's a big bodied snake and she moves around a lot, so her plant life is pretty dead on this side where I do like the live plants. So she does have fake plants, and I'm probably going to have to plant some more fake ones in her enclosure, which I actually have my latest collection of items. A T-Rex skull, because I like to put decor in there. Like I have a statue, a moose. I have a statue up there. I haven't figured out where to put it yet to really make sense. But T-Rex skull with a bunch of plastic succulents. So that's what I have Wade's enclosure outside set up like. It turned out good, so I just have to get more. I just have to put them together. I'll be back. You can keep going. Or why are you right where I need to put the water? No. There you go. So I'm actually not going to take Lava or Java out because I just fed them again yesterday. I try to feed them once every 2 weeks, but I'm feeding them for the next 4 weeks every week. So they just ate on Friday, and it's one of the things I do is like I have a set schedule, but if I look at a snake and it looks like it probably could use more food or less food, I adjust that. And they look like they could use more food, so I'm increasing their feeding for the next, at this point, 2 more feedings, and then we'll take a look at them and decide, hey, do I go back to the once or maybe once every 10 days versus 7 or 14 and go from there. But if you read online, you'll see a lot of things saying, hey, feed this every 2 weeks or every week, wherever. Don't always go by that. Use, like, I don't want to call it common sense because then some people get offended, but like, if you look at me, right, I'm a little bit on the heftier side. I probably could use skipping a meal, right? So looking at a snake and using that logic, like, hey, is a snake skinny? Is it fat? Is it good? Right? If it's good, keep on your regimen. If it's skinny, increase your regimen. If it's fat, decrease your regimen. So the nice thing about controlling intake of food is when it's your snake, your dog, your, you know, pets, you can actually make sure that you're providing the healthy regimen versus just following what everybody else does for a corn snake, for example. Because every animal's different, right? The person that says feed every month may have them in a CV70 tub where they don't move around much, they don't burn many calories, they don't have much muscle mass. And then you put them in a 6 foot enclosure and they're moving around more, they're digging in the substrate, they're burning a little bit more calories, so they may need to eat more than what you find online. If you go on my website and look at my care sheets are very average based, where I'll be like, every 10 to 12 days, 12, 14, something like that, I give a range. And then you buy a snake for me, then I give more detail. I'm like, hey, speed it up, increase the food size, decrease food size, using the same metrics of like common sense approach. I thought you were going to wait until I was done to do that. Okay. So I will clean this and then I'm going to take him out. So this is Eggs, my T-Paws. Oh, he didn't like the camera. Let me back it away from the camera. My T-Paws Argentine boa. No, his name is Eggs because he's kind of looks like eggs, right? When you cook scrambled eggs. Move it closer to the lighting. Alright, there you go. So, same species as Kim that I showed earlier, just a different morph. One of the things I don't do is wrap the snakes around my neck. It takes very little pressure to actually make you pass out. You know, some people will disagree with that, but, you know, go into a chokehold, you know, you cut off the blood flow here, you could black out. So I don't let snakes play around my neck. I've occasionally done on shoulders, like when I'm handling Neptune because he's so big, but I still try to make sure I don't get the wrap going. But like when this guy gets big, he's going to be on my shoulders for sure. But I try to keep it away from the neck. Yeah. What? There you go. Oh, that's beautiful. Come back, get in focus. There you go. Yeah. The nice thing about these snakes is, for me, that they are a thick body snake. So sometimes you'll see snakes that are fat, and you know you feel bad, but these snakes are actually genetically very thick bodied, which is really cool because it gives you this. This is not nowhere near going to be his full size. So you know then I'm going to be like, I don't know, but he's going to be big. But it's nice having a strong snake that's thick. I don't want to reticulate python. Those are too big. Yeah. I actually had someone ask, I think it's a guy overseas, well, outside of America. Didn't know the country flag, um, but he asked for pictures of Neptune, and I was like, oh, I'll do a video. And now I'm thinking, like, oh, I can't do a video because I've been holding the other snakes. I found out from a guy who breeds Australian pythons. Mostly that's all he works with, and snake eaters, so blackhead pythons, Woma pythons, and he said that the reason why you may be getting bit so much from blackheads are because they smell the other reptile on you. So I was like, oh, okay. But I've had times where I've went and put on fresh clothes, and Neptune, he just likes to bite. I've never been bit by Medusa, but Neptune, he's a biter. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And when you're holding snake, always try to support their tail end as well, and not just do all the support around their neck. So like this part of their body, you want to have more support for them. Do you ever watch snake? They use their tail portion a lot for gripping. You can't really see, but he's gripping right now on my arm pretty tight to curl around. And you see how he's starting to go around my neck? I avoid that. So that's where I'm like, all right, you gotta apply a little pressure to get them to change course. Right. Let him go back, and then if he goes down, because sometimes they'll just go straight down like that, that's not a problem to me. Yeah. Yeah. Really beautiful snake. I think my wife wants me to hurry up and finish cleaning so she can take care of the dog. When I went out to clean the last water dish, she was getting all of the stuff ready, and I was like, I thought you were going to wait for me to be done. She was like, I'm just getting it ready. I was like, ah, okay, I'm taking too long. But good thing is that's the last bit of stuff we got to do today, so shouldn't take too long. If you're just joining, this is a T-Paz Argentine boa. So, alright, put him up. And like I said, I'm not going to take Neptune out because I've been handling the other snakes. Pretty sure he's also in shed, based on the look of it. Oh no. Come here, little guy. I'm getting all the ice pods off the bottom, so they stay in there. So you notice these two open out and brought the rest are glass. I was checking these out to see if I like them or not, and I don't. I prefer the glass ones. I also have the old AP enclosure design, and the new one, and I prefer the old one. I feel like they fit better than the new one. But if I had my enclosures all next to each other, I would prefer the new one because it provides a little bit of space in between for airflow. But I I don't have mine close together because I also use fans, like computer fans, to blow air through the enclosure for airflow. Clearing out spider web that I saw. There. Oh, that's way over too. About once a month, I have to go on a spider killing spree because they like to build up with all the bugs that I use in Bioactive. So it's just part of the system. But I don't like spiders because they can bite the snakes, and then that is not good. And yes, it's because Raw has a spot on his head from where he was bit by one. So, yeah, I don't. Before I'd be friendly to spiders, like, hey, whatever. But now, no, if it comes between my pets and wildlife, I'm gonna choose my pets. Alright, I'm gonna move y'all to the other side of the room. Alright, I'll just have to turn it when I'm done with those two enclosures. There you go. Did anybody respond? Aloha. Hey, what's up, Lance? A regular on the channel. First time being live. I decided to. You may be late to the show. Yeah, I just decided to. Let's see. Can I see who's actually viewing at the moment? Doesn't look like. Sorry if the camera gets bouncy. I'm over here trying to see how to see who's actually on. Well, I'm just going to assume you're still watching. If you are, I'm deciding that on Sundays, when I have the time, I'm going to go live while I'm cleaning the room, because otherwise I don't really have much time during the week to do any social media. So I figured give this a try and then maybe try again next Sunday, because Sundays are the only days I'm guaranteed to be in the reptile room, which is why most of my pictures and videos are from when I have blue gloves on, cleaning the reptile room. Yeah. Aloha. What?
Well, you need pieces.
What pieces?
What pieces?
These?
What the piece?
I don't know. Melody's in shed, so I was about to take Melody out, but with her being in shed, I'm not going to. The other thing that I don't like about the new AP enclosures is it's harder to close the glass. They have a tighter, what do you call it, like a edge that the glass fits into than the original design, which makes it harder to close and then lock. I was going to move y'all so y'all can see this part. So I was just looking to see if there's spider webs, and if so, if there's any large spiders. Seeing as how it doesn't have lights in those two, I have to be more vigilant when inspecting. And then for my males, when they shed, I keep their sheds. Reason for keeping them, I throw them in with the other males when it's breeding season. So that's my cocker, this crawl, and then these some other ones. Then I have some more up here too. Alright, that's all I got for this week. If there's any questions, ask now, or I'm gonna hop off and go take care of the reptiles in my living room. Alright, I appreciate everybody that joined, commented, and liked the video. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do this weekly. We'll see, things change, but if I can, I'll do it again next week. Alright, thanks everyone. Bye. Now I have to figure out how to stop this. Alright. Maybe this button. And they said, okay, that's to share. I'm gonna figure it out. Oh, that's adding backgrounds. Okay. All right. Stop. All right. Thanks, everyone.